Singapore's position on the Russian invasion of Ukraine is ultimately to avoid the same situation happening in this region. To do so, the Foreign Affairs Minister says it's reasonable to consider a diversity of views on why it took place. He was responding to an opposition MP who was probing him on whether the government believes the West contributed to the outbreak of this conflict. Clara Lee tells us more.
Political independence and
Has Singapore's government revised its position on the Russian invasion of Ukraine? Opposition Member of Parliament Sylvia asks this of the Foreign Affairs Minister. That's after his colleague, the Law Minister, made a widely discussed speech at the Institute of Southeast Asian Studies 2 months ago.
In his speech, he actually said specifically that, in his view, the West and NATO were not uninvolved bystanders who had no role to play in the current situation. So do I take it that that is the government's view as well?
The Foreign Affairs Minister's response?
Under the principle of collective responsibility that you can take, as long as we are in charge, the statements of each minister reflect the views of the government.
Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan adds the government still maintains that Russia was wrong to invade Ukraine. And ultimately, these views are all based on protecting Singapore's interests as a small city-state.
Our objective in Southeast Asia is not to let a repeat of the European tragedy occur here in this part of the world. And in trying to avoid a parallel of that situation here, I think it is entirely legitimate for us to consider all views, diverse views, opposing views even, on how the situation in Europe came about.
Ms. Lim further pressed Dr. Balakrishnan to confirm the government's views on the West and NATO. Law Minister K Shanmugam rose instead with a single sentence.
I cleared the speech with the highest levels of cabinet.
Dr. Balakrishnan then says ultimately his first job as Foreign Affairs Minister is to protect Singapore's sovereignty, independence and territory.
And therefore, there may be sometimes what I say publicly, right, is entirely aimed at achieving that. I do not wish to have words put into my mouth or to make public pronouncements beyond what I've already said, to say that beware that small countries do not get caught up in the maneuvers, the toing and froing, and the dangerous, sometimes escalatory rhetoric or action that superpowers engaged in. And we stand and we take collective responsibility for that. So I think I've said enough, Mr. Deputy Speaker, and I am still absolutely certain that there is unanimity in this House on this matter of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And I thank the member for her support. Can I assume I have your support?
Yes, sir. We have no reason to disagree with the government's consistent stand from February last year to now.
And I'm very grateful for that. Thank you.